Hell have no fury. Like a woman who's sad every single episode this season. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I'm here to review season 10, episode 6 of the real slutty Housewives of Potomac. We start the episode off right where we left off on night 2 of their cast trip to Neva's. They're having a dinner. We see lame 1 and lame 2 having a battle on who's the lamest this season. Kiarna, she's been a big disappointment since episode 1 all the way up to now. But Jessi, I'm shocked about her because I was actually excited to see her come back. But lately, the way she's been moving, it's almost like Kiarna 2.0, especially with that odd, strange side chick meltdown that she had later on in the episode against Tia. But we'll get to that. So Giselle, she tries to break the tension up between them and she's like, okay, we're gonna have baddie shot o'clock. And she brings out a bunch of shots. And it's almost like the universe was trying to tell Giselle something because one of the shots spills all over her top. And it's like the universe was trying to tell her, take off that tacky top and go burn it and never wear it again. But Giselle, she doesn't listen. So she's like, oh, I got a little spill on my top. I'm still gonna wear my tacky top though. Okay, so shot o'clock time. And each shot represents a shady nickname of everybody at the table, right? Angel was a Debbie Downer, Tia was the Queen of England. Jessi, since technically this is like her bachelorette party, she was a delusional side chick. Kiarna, she was a Sesame Street fighter. Ashley, I forgot her nickname. It was something on the line of, I'm not with Michael Darby anymore, so I don't really have a storyline or purpose on the show, so she could get fired and never come back and nobody's gonna miss her, or something like that. I forgot, right? Stacy, hers was irrelevant. Giselle didn't even bother giving her a nickname. But if Stacy would have told Giselle, oh, what's your nickname? Miss Pastor Holy Whore, you wouldn't like that, right, Giselle? So they took shots, they got up, they started dancing, everything was good for the rest of the night. They head back home. Wendy, she didn't come out with them because she's not feeling good. She has a case of fraudulentitis. You know, fraudulentitis? You know, fraudulentitis is very common with people. It's usually when you and your husband try to commit fraud, you're emailing each other back and forth, trying to lie to each other, try to get as much money out of this fraud situation and try to lie yourself out of the system. And, you know, usually the symptoms of fraudulentitis is constant, you know, cold chills in your body. You have a headache because you're constantly thinking and stressed about what's coming next. You're always looking over your shoulder because you're constantly paranoid if you're going to get caught, you know, what's going to happen? Are you going to get away with this type of thing? And you just want to stay in bed all day because you're afraid if you go out, they're going to catch you. And that's what's going on with Wendy. And, you know, I hope she feels better because fraudulentitis, honestly, is nothing to play around with. So then we see Ashley, Jazzy, and Kenya Moore. They're in the living room. They're talking about what? Chris Samuels and his extra large boxer briefs, because apparently that's the way Monique is going to be introduced back onto the show, trying to make that a whole thing as if she's fighting over him when they're both divorced. And you know, now they're blowing this whole thing out of proportion because Stacey apparently has a past with Chris Samuels and his extra large boxer briefs, and Stacey lets them know. I mean, technically, I was single and I wasn't with Fabio and he wasn't with Monique, so it was okay for us to go out, but I was never sexual with Chris Samuels and his extra large boxer briefs, Ashley, and that's the God honest truth. And I mean, honestly, Stacey, even if you and Chris and his extra large boxer briefs were sexual, so what? He wasn't with Monique. I don't think you knew who Monique was, you know, or you were in the same circles until you came onto the show. So, I mean, what's the big deal? And honestly, raise your hand if you ever slept with somebody's boyfriend or husband after they were broken up from their previous relationship, but you didn't know of her. Like, you knew of her, but you didn't really know of her. Raise your hand. This is a judgmental free zone. I'm not judging. I'll raise my hand too. I'll be honest. Raise your hand. Go ahead, raise your hand. Psych. I never done something like that. I was just testing you out to see what kind of person you are. And I am judging you if you've done something like that. You're a terrible person. No, I mean, but if Stacey did do something with Chris, I mean, again, they were both single. So the next morning, everyone is getting ready for a yacht day. Kiarna, she's on the phone with her no good for nothing boyfriend, Greg. She's telling him, tonight is slut night. I'm excited for it. Little does she know it's always slut night for Greg, but without her, right? You know, she's not supposed to know about it. That's his secret, allegedly. So keep it quiet. So they go out to the yacht. It looks beautiful. They're out in open water. Everything looks so nice and refreshing. Giselle, she wasted no time bringing up mess and making this a menage a trois between her, Kiarna, and Wendy. And she was just like, Kiarna, what's going on between you and us? What's the problem here? Kiarna, you know, it's just so interesting, the shift in tone when talking to Wendy as opposed to talking to Giselle, because Wendy, she came at her full throttle, unwarranted a couple of episodes ago. But Giselle, she tells her, Well, Giselle, I just feel some type of way that you didn't check in on me when I got into that huge brawl with Tickle Me Elmo at the club, and she left the injury on my forehead, and you never called to check on me, and that hurt my feelings. You never called me, but let it have been Wendy, and this whole conversation would have went a different way. And Giselle is just looking at her like, Kiarna, I understand your situation, but my father had passed away around the same time. You can't expect Kiarna for Giselle to put you on a pedestal. She's going through what she's going through. Her emotions are all over the place. I doubt that she's thinking, let me call Kiarna and see what's going on with her and what happened with her versus Cookie Monster. Like be a little bit more lenient. At least you had Karen Huger. I missed the Grand Drunk. I'm pretty sure that she's out now. I think there was a picture of her floating around. She went out to eat or something like that. So I miss her on the show, but they get off the yacht, they start taking these beautiful photos, and they sit down to have a dinner, right? And I believe that Tia, she tells Jazzy, I just feel some type of way that, the other night, last night when I was trying to diffuse the situation about this whole catfish situation between, Angel and everybody else, that, you kind of came for me for no reason, Jazzy, and I just don't understand why. Which I know I didn't speak on the whole, photo editing situation that Giselle was coming at Angel with a couple of episodes ago, and I did not like that. I thought that was very mean-spirited, the way Giselle was coming at her like that, and to the point where Angel broke down last episode, and Angel, you telling Giselle, you're like a big sister to me, and you just met her like, what, 2 seconds ago? Like, like Angel, come over here. Give me your contract for next season because I need to tear it up and throw it in the garbage. Like, actually, wait a minute. No, we need to think about this because if she goes, her husband, Bobby, he goes too. So, wait a minute. No, we need a couple of more seasons with Angel, unfortunately. Like... Or maybe she could go and the husband could stay. He could be like a friend of or something, because Bobby, that man is too beautiful to not have on TV. But Angel, you just, it's like Angel's like a little fish in a pond full of sharks, and she's just not gonna survive. Like, this show is just not for her. I really had high expectations for her, but Angel, it's not looking good, and I can only imagine how the reunion is gonna be for her. So Tia, on the other hand, she's doing really, really good. I'm enjoying Tia, and then this scene right here. Well, actually, no, the scene from last episode solidified her for me because when Ashley tried to come for her, and I believe Tia was just like, what is it that you're not getting, huh? What is it that you're not understanding, Ashley? What is it that you're having a problem understanding? I'm like, damn, Ashley. And Ashley had nothing to say. You better bow down to the Queen of England. So then Jazzy, all of a sudden, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what was in that dry salad that she was eating. She picks up her fork, and she looks at Tia and she gives her, a Tyra Banks look. She was smizing. Jazzy looked so beautiful like this. She was just like anybody see, she was smizing the entire time. She was just like, you know what, Tia? Let me tell you something. No, because I've been wanting to talk about it for a quick second, and then here goes the Queen of England. Whoa, wait a minute. We're not doing the fork. Put the bloody fork down. No, I'm not doing that right now with you, Jazzy. Jazzy was just like, no. She had a piece of dry salad on the end of her fork. She was just like, let me tell you something about you, Tia. Because you've been coming at me nonstop, joking about, oh, Mr. Sunshine, he has competition with my husband 14 days before I get married, and I just do not like that. No, be quiet, Tiffany. Be quiet. Listen, no, I have never had to yell at a girl like this before in my life, Tia. No, you listen. Learn something from this. You think you've gone through everything? You don't know what the hell I've been through. You don't know what the challenges I've gone through myself, Tia. No, I'm sorry. No, like, I got too into character. I didn't mean any of that. Just give me some water. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. Now I need to get back to the review. Jazzy, what's going on here? What are you hiding in your relationship that you don't want us to find out? Because your reaction to Tia's harmless joke was just very uncalled for. It's almost like she's afraid that her fiance is gonna look at the situation and actually think that Mr. Sunshine has a chance to swoop in and take Jazzy away from him in a way. Like, what's happening here? And it's like she's always constantly covering up some red flag from her fiance. Like, oh, no, he had 2 babies, but before me, I didn't know about it. And now your reaction to this little joke, like, everybody at the table, even Kiarna was looking at you like, it wasn't that serious, but maybe it is serious to her. I don't know. I mean, after the luncheon, they head back home to get ready for slut night. And on their way back on the golf cart, Jazzy and Angel, they're whispering to each other. But Angel, she's going off about something. And she's like, yeah, that snaggletooth bitch, that raggedy looking bitch, I can't stand her. Why would she do this? I can't stand her. And I'm like, who is she talking about? Is she talking about Charisse? Ashley Darby? You know, because they kind of fit the description, but we don't know yet. So back at the house, Giselle is the first one in the slut room, and she's dressed as what? A ringleader, of course. Of course she would choose that as an outfit. She honestly should have showed up as Jamal Bryant's ex-slutty wife or something like that. You know, she could have also been wearing like a bridal outfit, but she looks really, really good. So Giselle, you know, I could never give you a 10. I could never give you a 10, but I'll give you an 8, 7.5. Like I said in my last review, my favorite TikTok sound, but she looks good. Then we see Ashley. She shows up, and at first I'm thinking, okay, she's dressed like a ninja or something, but no. Her ass is out, so she's dressed as a astronaut. Okay, so then we see Angel. Angel comes in, and she's dressed as a what? As an angel. All right, so then we see Wendy. Wendy looks so good. She had on this black latex outfit with both her out, and you know, it just looks like she was 2 seconds away from saying, you better get down on your fucking knees and eat my pussy and commit fraud with me right fucking now. Do what I say, goddammit. Do you hear me? I'm Professor. Actually, tonight I'm dominatrix Wendy, and I have 5 degrees. Actually, I have 5 dildos for you, so you better get on your fucking knees right now and commit fraud with me right now. Like, she just looks so good. So Wendy, best dressed. She looks really, really nice. Then we see Kenya Moore, aka Stacy. Stacy came out looking like she was ready to go make butter. Like, Stacy, did you not get the memo? Like, I thought she was 2 seconds away from yodele, 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 hee-hoo. Like, she tells Wendy, well, you know, Wendy, I went with a little bit more a traditional type of style of slut. You know, I kind of like my outfit. This is very German. Wendy, she was just like, yeah, she's kind of giving me international slut. Kiana comes in dressed like a cowgirl, which I expected something better from her. You know, maybe she could have dressed up as Greg's ex-girlfriend. You know, I would love to see her in that outfit. Tia comes in. She had on lingerie underneath a silky robe, and she was just like, well, I'm a modest slut. I don't have to show everything off. And I'm like, okay, Miss Classy, okay. Then we see the side chick to be, the bride to be, Jazzy. She comes in and she's dressed like a slutty bride with the veil, the white bra, the white panties, the leggings, the heels. She just looks really, really good, right? Then we get this freak show on the go, and they start, you know, just dancing with each other, you know, giving each other lap dances, sipping out of pink pussy straws. I'm like, now who got those? And why is the Tia was just... You know, and one by one, they start taking turns with Jazzy, telling her what to do, and they're like, assume the position. Here goes Jazzy. You know, she just bent all the way over on the couch. They're right behind her with the whip, just whipping her, and I'm like, what is going on here on the Real Freaks of Potomac, right? You know, at the same time I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, they're having fun. But, you know, I was having flashbacks of my own rendezvous back in the day, right? You know, for a second, I felt like I needed a cigarette watching this scene, and I don't even smoke. I was just watching this like, yep, you know, back in my day, I was in the same position, you know, doing the same thing, like, you know, and is it just me? You know, I take it up a notch because I don't do the whole whip thing, but you know, every now and then I enjoy when the, you know, when the penis, when they grab the penis and they slap you in the face with it, like they whip it across your face. Like, is it just me? Like, I kind of like that. It's kind of relaxing. But regardless, they start doing that. They start handcuffing her. They handcuff her, you know, with her arms behind her, telling her what to do. Angel. She tried, you know. I could just tell that her heart was not in it. Like her slutty heart was just not in this. You know, they were all into it, but she just wasn't. And she was just like, assume the position. Yeah, you like that? Yeah. yeah, you're a bad girl. And I'm like, thank you, Angel. And then Ashley, of course, Ashley has to take it up a notch because she starts, crawling all over her. Then she takes out some chocolate. And I'm like, here we go. She puts a D on Jazzy's chest. D for Darius, her fiance. And then she starts licking it all off her chest. I'm like, Ashley, please go take a cold shower. And even though everybody's having fun and licking on each other, if I was Jazzy, the second that Ashley starts licking all over me, right, I would have been like, okay, I'm having fun, I'm enjoying this. Okay, Ashley, do your thing. Okay, but then reality would have hit me, right? I would have started thinking, wait a minute, hold on. Because Ashley's licking me with his mouth and this tongue has been on Michael Darby before. Ashley, get the fuck off me. You know what? Party's over. You know what? I'm gonna go upstairs and shower. I feel disgusted. Ashley, how fucking dare you? Like, how dare you? Ugh, I'm leaving. I'm done. Just that we could wrap this up. Like, I would have been so turned off. Like, Ashley, how dare you? Go scrub your tongue a couple of more times and then we could try again. Like, ugh. I just wonder if Kyle Richards is watching this episode at home with a glass of wine and, she's probably DJing as we speak. But then at the same time, I also thought, for a second, I thought Candy from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I thought she was gonna pop in like, hey guys, I wanna participate too. I may be small. Oh. Maybe she would have showed up with Bolo because this is definitely up her alley, right? I know that she'll probably be foaming at the mouth. So then all of a sudden, Jazzy, she's handcuffed, right, with her arms behind her back. She starts contwerking, or what's the word? Conturking? She starts, doing all these things with her arms and starts having an exorcism and becoming like the Grudge. Like for a second I thought she was gonna, because she puts her arms right above above her head while she's handcuffed and she brings them to the front. I'm like, what kind of crazy? I see why she was wifed up. And again, it was giving me flashbacks to my own experiences because, back in the day, they used to call me Miss Incredible on the streets, because Miss Incredible, she's flexible and, I'm kind of double jointed, trigger warning, by the way, trigger warning. Look at my hand. Look at that. It goes all the way back. And I thought this was normal until somebody was just like, what are you doing? How can you do that? And it doesn't hurt at all. It feels really, really nice. And, even with my legs, like, let's see if I still got it, right? Oh, my back. Here we go. You ready?
And he gon' put my legs to the moon, legs to the moon.
Put your legs to the moon, shout.
Oh, my back. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna feel this in the morning. I'm like, bro, even Giselle jumped at her. She was just all discombobulated and stuff. I'm like, what is happening here? So they're all having a good time. Then we see Angel looking she's on the couch like, and of course they're like, Angel, what's going on now? What's happening? Because she's been sad these last couple of episodes and this show is just not for her. Angel, I really like you. Or do I like your husband? I like your husband, but you're not gonna cut it on the show. She's like, I don't wanna talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. So I got this message from this woman from years ago, from 2016, telling me, accusing me that I took money from my husband, that I was trying to get pregnant, I was trying to do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, what are you on about? Like, what is this? Jazzy tells them, well, I did talk about this with Angel privately without the cameras and mics, but Angel, of course, she brought it to the cameras. And Angel, why would you do that if you know you're already not having a good time on this trip or on this show in general? So Angel, she gets up and she's like, you know what? No, I'm leaving. So she goes outside to call our husband, Bobby. And she's like, I can't, because they're accusing me of editing my photos, of this, that, and the third. I continue being the target. And now this is just too much. And Angel, you're just not cut out for the show, and it's okay. Like, if it means losing your husband or our husband, in order for you to be happy and not be on the show, then I understand. It'll be fine. So then Giselle, she comes on. She takes that outfit that she's wearing a little bit too serious because all of a sudden she's so demanding. Who is she on the phone with? Kiana's just like, oh, she's on the phone with her husband. Oh, okay. And she goes right back inside. And then Kiana would have pissed me off because you could obviously tell that Angel's emotional. She's crying. Kiana's just like, are you okay? No, you're fine? No, but it seems like you're crying. You sure? I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna go drink a pink pussy straw. You sure? Okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah, no, are you fine? No, but you're good though, right? I don't think you're good. And I'm like, Kiana, take your ass inside. Asking all these damn questions, but that was that Angel. It's just so sad and unfortunate. I do feel for her. I don't like her. I don't like seeing her, just be sad the entire trip, the entire season so far, but we'll see what happens. Monique, she makes her grand return next week, and I'm so curious of how that's gonna go between her and Giselle. And honestly, I mean, we'll talk about it next week, but I think it's a little bit pathetic that she's coming back. And I like Monique, but Monique, you left on such a high note. And, when she told Andy, oh, that little check, oh, that doesn't mean anything. And now to see you come back, regardless of whatever reason why you're coming back, it's just, I don't know. It's just pathetic to me. Is it just me? But we'll see. It's still nice to see her, though, but we'll see what happens. And, like I said in my last review, I didn't review the last 2 episodes of Potomac or Salt Lake City because I was on vacation for Halloween. I spent the whole week in New Jersey seeing my family, and in New York. I went to this event in Brooklyn for Halloween night, and guess who hosted it? The one and only, the icon, the number one reality TV star, Tiffany New York Pollard from the hit show Flavor of Love, and Raja, the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 3. She was so nice. Her and Raja, they both loved my Halloween outfit. We took pictures, we hugged, and it's just a moment that I'm never gonna ever forget because one, I already love Halloween. That's my favorite holiday. But to meet her the same night, it just can't get any better than that. And I got to see my family, and I just had a really, really, really good time. When I came back, I was just so exhausted. I was tired. And then on top of that, catching up with the Real Housewives of Potomac, but specifically catching up with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, that was crazy. I'm like, I leave for 1 week and all hell breaks loose on Salt Lake City on that yacht trip. Like what was going on? From drink throwing, Meredith having powers, people throwing up, Lisa going crazy. Like, it was just a lot. And I'll review that, the recent episode soon, tomorrow. But, it was just a lot. But yeah, I had a good time. But anyways, let me know what you all thought about this whole entire episode down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.